Hello and welcome, and we're already off to our first major arc in Season 2 of the 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You. And yes, the Food Fight Festival is considered an arc. Other than the Hakari Rescue arc, the longest arcs in the series are only 3 chapters long. And I'm glad they're able to do this arc in only 1 episode, since that was my hope for this season. There's a very specific endpoint that I'm 99% sure we're going to get to for this season, and that's a good ways away, so I don't mind the quicker pace of some of the chapters. We start off right from the get-go with the host of this competition, the newbie idol. And yes, the fan service was in the manga too. Since she's got a point, would you have preferred a boring wall of text instead? I love how she says fan service is best service. Maybe she's saying that because she watched yesterday's solo leveling episode. There's actually another fan service shot in the manga, which I can't show because YouTube. But I really like how she shouts out Nozawa, the artist for this series. Shoutouts to her, by the way. And the first trial is underway, which Kurumi is more than prepared for because
we played these games before!
Now, I think the strategy is a bit weird, willingly eating the sides so that others do so as well, but hey, it works. And not gonna lie, those sides are looking real good. But I like how the main course in normal meals is considered the side for this challenge. It's not like Rentarou's taking one for the team here. He's doing this because he wants to help out Kurumi and loves his family. I love how this episode reinforces how strong of a harem MC he is. As long as his girlfriends are giving him rice, he can keep moving forward until his enemies are full. He has to keep doing this for Kurumi and everyone else. Rentarou wants to keep being fed by his girlfriends for 10 years at least. Rentarou, what a man you are. But we're able to weed out the scraps who are not important enough to make it to the next round, leaving us with our main 3 camps competing for the coveted Michelin star gelato prize. Rentarou's family, the Guerrera Syndicate, who are back from episode 9. Yep, they're recurring characters, and a new final boss appears for this challenge, who does indeed look straight out of One Piece. This isn't going to be a recurring character, but I'm glad that they address that the manga design is very different, especially since in the manga they refer to them with feminine pronouns, but here it's the other way around, and the voice acting sounds robotic, hinting at their true nature too. The subtitles address him as Chunko Omnishiki, but that's not how the newbie idol or Nano pronounces it, and the manga calls him Takeko Super Deluxe. And I checked the 7 Seas translation, it's the exact same. So for the sake of consistency, I'm going to call him Big Papa. And yes, they're dirty, rotten cheat, using a false compartment in their outfit to sneak off with all the food they're not eating. Can you imagine the smell of that? Like after the contest is over, you'd probably be wearing all the stuff you didn't ingest anyway. Ew. However, for our righteous competitors with the family and the syndicate, they're competing off the strength of their bonds of love. And I really enjoy how likable the Guerrera Syndicate is. Sure, they've been introduced twice now as rivals, but they're in the same boat as Rentarou's family, and their leader wants to share gelato with her boyfriend. It's very wholesome. The series could have kept them in as antagonizing the family, but it's the spirit of competition that keeps them at odds with the family, not their personalities. And so the trials continue with Boba Tea. I like how another member of Rentarou's family joins Kurumi to help her out with their own innate talent. For Shizuka, since she's so small and precious, she's used to chewing her food constantly, which I guess gives her an advantage here. I hadn't actually ever had boba tea until last summer, and I've only had it about twice now, I think. So I'm not too certain if this is really the right strategy, but I kind of enjoyed boba tea when I did have it. So maybe I just need more to determine if this was a good strategy or not. But a win's a win. The next challenge is 10-piece sushi, which looks delicious. And Nano's helping by just eating it whole. Guys, seriously, you're not an anime girl. Chew your food, please. Also, don't run with it in your mouth like Nano does. She's a highly trained stuntwoman, except when it comes to heights. This is a professional in her field. The spicy challenge is up next, and Big Papa actually withdraws from it because of the vat of mulligan stew they're already carrying. And yes, most of this was cut for time so they could fit the entire Food Fight Festival in 1 episode. However, not a whole lot was missing from the manga, honestly. Kusuri joined in because she has to down violent concoctions she creates from time to time, so this spiciness is a Tuesday for her. Incarne has a spicy personality ability, so it adds up. Though Karne was able to suffer through because the Hanazonos were damaging her pride. Then both of those Hanazonos joined for the cake round. What a perfect compliment to their charming feminine beauty. And they're able to use the sugar and calories carefully crammed into these confectionery competitive comestibles as a weapon against the Guerrera Syndicate and themselves. It doesn't work on Big Papa. Before the final match, Rentarou needs to care for the family with his multi-patting technique. And I know that Hakuri wants him to rub her elsewhere too, but a bonus panel in the manga confirmed what I'm sure we're all thinking about for Karne 2. But our final match approaches. The ramen contest. This will decide the fate of the universe, as the Guerrera Syndicate is inspired by the iron will of Rentarou's family, as they're now more determined than ever to end their dead. Kurumi isn't facing Big Papa alone for this one. The rest of the family's ready to help her out despite how she's treated them thus far. But they want to support Kurumi. They want to succeed together because of how much they love each other. This is where the true point of this contest comes to light. Sure, gelato sounds nice and all, but the real goal was to get Kurumi to accept the other girlfriends and the family as a whole. And it's successful. Rentarou and the others have gotten through to her when they needed to the most, and it's down to the last bite. And Rentarou will always have room in his heart for the love his girlfriends give him, as Big Papa goes down. The gelato is secured, the family is strengthened, Kurumi awaits Rentarou at the end to recruit him to the Avengers. Love has prevailed this day, as Kurumi goes for the kill. Man, she went deep in there. Also, there is an after credits scene where they adapted the other bonus panel from these chapters. And that's the Food Fight Festival. I'm gonna be completely honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of this arc in the manga, but it's not really anyone's fault, it's mostly because I just don't like watching people eat a lot of food. Like, I genuinely don't understand the appeal to mukbang videos, I just find it gross. And this episode is a bit gross too, but it's still really funny and has a 100 Girlfriends charm to it, so overall, I had a fun time watching. Like I mentioned, some things had to be cut for time. There are a few references and fourth wall breaks, and an appearance by the Love God too. But overall, the spirit of the chapters was well captured here. If you're following along with the manga, this chapter fully adapted the remainder of chapter 25 and chapters 26 and 27. And a new character has been introduced, the newbie idol, voiced by Yuri Igama, who has also voiced Ruby Hoshino from Oshinoko, which is perfect casting. She's a pretty recent voice actor, so she doesn't have too many voice acting roles yet. So nice to see her get more work. Also, last episode review, I talked about the OP, so I want to shout out the ED here too. It's full of so many references to what's going to happen in the season and even much further in the manga, and the song is pretty fire too. Finally, I want to also mention that on Friday, I posted my best anime of 2024 video. I highly recommend checking that out if you haven't yet, because I put a lot of effort into it. It's one of my favorite videos I've made yet. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more 100 Girlfriends and other anime content coming soon too. More videos are coming soon, so thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.